A dimly lit room with a single flickering bulb. The camera pans across old, dusty furniture, revealing a journal lying open on a wooden table. The narrator's voice begins, calm but with an underlying tension. Have you ever felt like your house was alive? Like the walls were breathing, the floors creaking not from age, but from something moving beneath them? This is the story of Emily Carter, a young woman who learned too late that some houses are not just homes, they're prisons. Emily, a woman in her late 20s, moving into a quaint old house in the countryside. The house is surrounded by dense woods, and the sky is overcast. Emily smiles as she unpacks boxes, clearly excited about her new beginning. Emily to herself finally, a place to call my own. No noisy neighbors, no city chaos, just peace and quiet. Vesh runs her hand along the wall, and the camera zooms in on her fingers. The wallpaper is peeling slightly, revealing something dark and wet underneath. Emily doesn't notice. Night falls. Emily is sitting on the couch, reading a book. The house is silent except for the occasional creak of the floorboards. Suddenly, she hears a faint whisper. Emily pausing, looking around. Hello? Is someone there? The whisper grows louder, but it's indistinct, like multiple voices speaking at once. Emily stands up, her heart racing. She follows the sound to the hallway, where the whispers seem to be coming from the walls. Emily nervously, this isn't funny. If someone's playing a prank, it's not cool. She presses her ear against the wall. The whispers stop. Suddenly, a loud thud comes from the other side, making her jump back. She laughs nervously, trying to convince herself it's just the house settling. The next morning, Emily is in the kitchen making coffee. She notices a faint, wet stain on the ceiling. She frowns, grabbing a towel to wipe it, but the stain doesn't come off. It seems to be spreading. Emily muttering, great, a leaky roof, just what I needed. She decides to ignore it for now and heads to work. But as the days pass, the stain grows larger, and the whispers return every night, growing louder and more urgent. One evening, Emily can't take it anymore. She grabs a flashlight and decides to investigate the attic. The camera follows her as she climbs the creaky stairs, the beam of her flashlight cutting through the darkness. The attic is cluttered with old furniture and boxes. The air is thick with dust, and the whispers are louder here. Emily's flashlight flickers as she approaches a large, antique mirror covered with a sheet. Emily whispering to herself, okay, Emily? Just don't freak out. It's just an old mirror. She pulls off the sheet, revealing a tarnished, ornate mirror. Her reflection stares back at her, but something's off. Her reflection smiles. When she doesn't, it reaches out, and Emily stumbles back, dropping the flashlight. Emily screaming, what the hell? The flashlight rolls across the floor, illuminating something written on the wall in what looks like blood. Get out! Emily grabs the flashlight and runs downstairs, locking herself in her bedroom. The next day, Emily calls a local handyman to fix the leak. He's an older man with a kind face, but his expression darkens when he sees the stain on the ceiling. Handyman grimly, ma'am, this isn't water. This is something else. You should leave this house now. Emily confused, what are you talking about? It's just a leak. Handyman shaking his head, this house has a history. Bad things happen to people who stay here. The walls, they're alive. They feed on fear. Emily laughs nervously, dismissing him. But as he leaves, he hands her a small, weathered book. Handyman, read this. It might save your life. That night, Emily opens the book. It's a journal belonging to the previous owner, a woman named Margaret. The entries describe strange occurrences, whispers, moving shadows, and a growing sense of dread. The final entry is scribbled frantically. Emily reading aloudly, the walls are closing in. They're watching me. I can't leave. They won't let me. God help me. As Emily reads, the whispers return, louder than ever. The walls seem to pulse, and the stain on the ceiling begins to drip a thick black liquid. Emily tries to run, but the doors and windows are sealed shut. Let me out, please. Let me out. The whispers coalesce into a single, guttural voice. The camera cuts to static. When the image returns, the house is empty. Emily is gone. The journal lies open on the table, a new entry scrawled in shaky handwriting. The walls are alive. They've taken me. If you're reading this, leave now, before they find you too. The camera pans to the mirror in the attic. Emily's reflection is still there, staring out, her face twisted in terror. The whispers grow louder as the screen fades to black. Some houses are more than just wood and stone. They're alive, and they're hungry. So, the next time you hear a whisper in the night, ask yourself, are you alone?